How will Seiya of Pegasus recover his memories? Is the bond between a knight and his armor strong enough to transcend the total loss of one's own soul? And what about the seal of an Olympian god? Today, we're going to find out how the Knight of Pegasus can reach a divine level, even without knowing who he really is, and how a simple memory can rebuild the universe of Saint Seiya. Hello, Knights and Amazons. Welcome to the channel. Always wanted to know. I'm Wes. And today we're going to talk about what's coming in the new saga of Knights of the Zodiac, which takes place after the explosive events at the end of Next Dimension. Today's topic is the reconstruction of our heroes' memories and the ultimate evolution of the bronze armors. In the new manga Saint Seiya X, which gives important hints for the direct continuation of the classic Knights chronology. Did you like the topic? Then go ahead and click like, subscribe to the channel, and let's get into this awesome video. To understand the magnitude of what's coming, we need to accurately recap the current state of our protagonist and his companions. At the end of the Next Dimension saga, we witnessed one of the most melancholic and visually striking moments of the story. After surviving the temporal distortions of the 18th century and saving Seiya from the curse of Hades' sword, which pierced his chest in the Elysian fields, the Bronze Saints and Saori Kido herself faced direct judgment from Apollo, the god of the sun and order, as punishment for defying the laws of time, invading the past, and killing the god of the underworld. Apollo did not sentence them to immediate death. Instead, he imposed something that, for a warrior who lives for an ideal, is infinitely worse: absolute oblivion. Seiya of Pegasus, the man who wounded gods, now lives as an ordinary young civilian. He has no memories of his battles in the sanctuary against the Gold Saints, nor of his fight against Poseidon's marine generals or the judges of the underworld. The cosmos that once burned to infinity is now dormant beneath a layer of peaceful, everyday life. However, Seiya is still in Greece, searching for his lost sister, Seika. Saori Kido, who is the reincarnation of the goddess of wisdom, also had her divinity sealed. She walks the earth as a mortal woman, deprived of her staff, the goddess Kiki, and of the awareness that she is the protector of humanity. Living only as the heiress of Mitsumasa Kido and the one responsible for the Grodd Foundation, the Bronze Saints, Shun, Shiryu, Yorga, and Ikki, were scattered. The bond of brotherhood, forged in blood and sacrifice since the days of the Grodd Foundation and the rigorous training in various parts of the world, was broken by the mental fog imposed by the sun god. We only know the whereabouts of Shun, who lives as a florist. This divine amnesia serves as an emotional and spiritual reboot for the characters. Shun is now just a young man taking care of flowers, while Seiya is a wanderer. But the story of Saint Seiya teaches us that destiny is a force that not even the gods can silence forever. The big narrative turning point begins with Saori Kido being the incarnation of Athena. Her essence is too vast in the chronology. The deities in Saint Seiya possess what we call the Great Will, the Big Will, the Supreme Virtue, a manifestation of the ninth sense that permeates existence. In the new manga, we see that this divine spark begins to crack Apollo's seal. Saori is the first to sense that something is wrong with reality. But the moment all the fans are waiting for is her reunion with Pegasus. The scene, theorized and hinted at by Kuramada's clues, is full of symbolism. Seiya, driven by an instinct he doesn't rationally understand, begins to climb the steps of the 12 houses in the abandoned sanctuary of Greece. He doesn't know why that place feels so familiar, nor why his muscles seem to react to the gravity of those ancient stones. He carries with him Saori's hat, which flew away in the wind during a casual encounter. When he reaches the top, he finds her. He doesn't know her name. He doesn't remember that he swore to protect her with his own life through countless incarnations since the mythological era. But when he returns the object, the clash of cosmos will be inevitable in the series' mythology. The cosmos is the burning of vital energy based on the manipulation of atoms. When two cosmos that have shared so many eras of battle cross paths, Apollo's barrier starts to experience interference. It's at that very moment that the memories of the coma, the pain from Hades' sword, and the glory of saving the world all come back at once. And where there is the awakening of a knight, there is the call of his weapon and armor. If we analyze the history of the 88 sacred cloths created on the continent of Mu in Lemuria, The bronze armors are the ones that had the greatest capacity for evolution, so to speak. They are made of orichalcum, germanium, and stardust, materials that react directly to blood and cosmos. In the anime, there were exactly 4 significant transformations of Pegasus's armor. The first original version was the form that Seiya obtained in the sanctuary after defeating Cassius. The second version was the new armor, restored with the blood of the Gold Saints after the Battle of the 12 Houses. It had a golden glow when the cosmos reached its 7th sense. The third version was, until now, the final Pegasus armor, bathed in Athena's own blood during the Hades saga, allowing the young saints to cross the hyperdimension to reach the Elysian fields. The fourth version was the divine armor, the pinnacle, where the armor is resurrected in a form that resembles the gods' garments, manifested when the user raises his cosmos to infinity while using divine blood. However, there is a crucial detail in Next Dimension. The bronze armors did not undergo a permanent physical mutation. After the battle in the Elysian fields, they returned to their third version state, but extremely worn out, where it is possible to see that the armor's body is at its limit. With the return of Seiya's memories, his cosmos will no longer be that of an impulsive teenager, but that of a man who has felt divine death and come back to life. The Pegasus armor is essentially dead to face the army of Olympus and the celestial angels. It needs a new form, one that doesn't depend only on a momentary surge of blood, but on a structural reform to become more powerful and resilient. This is where a key character for the continuation of the story comes in. Kiki, the young disciple of Mu of Ares, whom we've known since the beginning of the series. Helping to carry the armor's urn, he is now the only master blacksmith capable of repairing armors with the tools to restore these garments. He is also the heir to the Ares gold cloth and the future successor of Mu after Mu's death. In the destruction of the Wailing Wall, Kiki will inherit not only the gold cloth, but also all the ancient knowledge of armor restoration. For Seiya's new armor to be born, Kiki will need rare materials and possibly a sacrifice of cosmos. The theory is that Kiki will use the remains of the gold cloths that were pulverized by the gods in the Elysian fields, and he will fuse them with a new technique, maybe using Seiya's cosmo energy and stardust. And, of course, a lot of Knight's blood. This restoration won't be just a repair. It will be a cosmic re-engineering of the Pegasus cloth, which will prepare the knight Seiya for the celestial confrontation. One question that comes up with this theory is, what will the new cloth look like? And there are 2 main lines of theories about this. In Kurumada's work, first, the inspiration from the Prologue of Heaven. Although the movie Prologue of Heaven was removed from the official timeline to make way for the Next Dimension manga, Kurumada often makes use of aesthetic concepts that were well received by the audience. At the end of that movie, Seiya awakens a cloth that breaks all the patterns, the miraculous Pegasus cloth. It has more curved lines and fewer angles. The cloth seems to be made of solid light, reflecting that the saint no longer needs heavy metal plates, but rather an extension of his own soul on his body. The wings would be more aerodynamic, symbolizing the total freedom of Pegasus, and the second version would be the fusion with the cloth. Another informative possibility is that the new Pegasus cloth inherits traits from the Sagittarius constellation. Seiya has always had a deep bond with Aeolus' cloth. A new evolution could permanently integrate golden elements into the bronze, creating a true bronze cloth, worthy of the future Grand Master or the leader of Athena's saints. And Seiya's awakening and his new cloth don't just affect his combat power. This changes the balance of power in the universe. When a human regains their memories after a punishment from Apollo, it proves that human will is a variable that the gods cannot control. The other bronze saints will follow the example of Shiryu, the dragon, who has already shown he has the power to inherit the Libra cloth. Hyoga, the swan, who is the master of Absolute Zero and has surpassed his master Camus. Shun of Andromeda, who is the man of pure heart and was the host of Hades. Iki of Phoenix, who is the one that always rises from the ashes regardless of divine punishment. The process of restoring their memories through the sanctuary and the 12 houses will serve as a purification. With each step they climb, they will be reaffirming their humanity in the face of the authoritarianism of the Olympian gods. Therefore, we are witnessing the final saga of Masami Kurumada, Seiya's awakening after Oblivion is not just the return of a hero, it's the birth of a new concept of night within the series, with Saori reclaiming her place as the goddess who loves the earth and the bronze armors evolving under Ikki's hands. The stage is set for the final confrontation against Zeus and the other gods of Olympus. The new Pegasus armor will be the ultimate symbol of this resistance, a protection born not from fear of the gods, but from the strength of memories, friendships, and love. Not even Apollo's fire was able to reduce it to ashes. What did you think of this theory about Seiya's awakening? Do you believe the new armor will look like the one from the movie or Kurumada's version? Will it surprise us with a completely new design? Share your opinion so I can know. Thanks for watching to the end. See you next time. Burn your cosmos to infinity.